So what I would call some pretty troubling events took place, especially here on YouTube, quite recently, and I know a lot of people have already heard about this. I was a little late to the subject, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really paying attention when this all happened. But I think that this is a subject that I should talk about regardless. Even though it's already seen a resolution, I think that this is something I should talk about simply because, number one, I've done this for other creators in the past, right? Like Leafy's suspension/ban. And even for others who were smaller than me, had demonetized issues, things like that, right? I think that that's the right thing to do. I think that a big part of the YouTube commentary community is the fact that people in the community stand up for one another, right? At least most of the time. We stand up for one another. We even stand up for creators outside of the community, like what I'm going to be doing today. So if you don't know who Belle Delphine is, I'm surprised at this point, to be honest. Like, it's the girl who sold like bathwater and stuff, and she, I guess, has like a really expensive OnlyFans, and like a bunch of people on the internet like worship this girl. Even if you don't know her, like, you've probably seen her, right? Like, you should probably recognize who she is. But she had like 4.5 million followers on Instagram, according to this article I'm reading, and basically, I'm just gonna cut to the chase because there's a lot to discuss. She had her YouTube channel terminated. It's now, of course, been reinstated, but she had her account terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy on nudity or sexual content. Now, I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, if you, once again, know who Belle Delphine is, she makes pretty sexual content. That's what she does for a living. It's basically how she got famous. It's not like that's anything new or like crazy or out there, right? So that was kind of, I guess, her whole thing, right? That's what she's kind of based her career around and whatnot, is being like the cosplaying e-girl or whatever. But on the 23rd of November is when her 1.8 million subscriber channel was terminated. It was basically without warning or without notice as well. Like, there was no emails from YouTube saying, hey, you need to shapen up or whatever, right? So this whole thing kind of confuses me because the situation itself doesn't make sense. I mean, of course, like, we understand YouTube has policies and guidelines, right? Everyone has to follow the rules of the website. That's cool. But in reality, that's the problem with the website, is not everyone has to follow the rules or the guidelines. Now, Belle Delphine gets hit for nudity and sexual content, right? They take her channel away, they do it without warning, they don't say anything, they don't make a big deal out of it. It's basically like a night raid. They bop her channel, right? Well, let's consider the fact that, if it's so bad for nudity and sexual content to be on YouTube, you then consider the fact that, like, songs like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP have been promoted by YouTube, okay? Now, I can't really show any of the clips of what I'm trying to compare here. I'll leave a link to Keemstar's tweet because I think that it does a pretty good job of explaining it. It's in the pinned comment, okay? You can take a look at that and it'll explain everything perfectly fine. Because another good thing about YouTube, when someone like Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion will, basically have their ass hanging out and their titties hanging out, which I'm not complaining, to be honest with you. I'm not complaining that they got it out. But when they have it out, it's completely okay, right? When they're out here throwing ass and titties around on the camera, talking about certified freak 7 days a week, making my pull-out game weak, you know what I'm saying, bro? That's completely acceptable. That is acceptable by YouTube standards. In fact, it's so acceptable that it fucking hit trending. In fact, as of me making this video, the WAP official music video has almost 300 million views, and the official audio has 163 million, so... Now, I'm not here to make the point that, like, WAP shouldn't be allowed on YouTube, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with WAP being on YouTube. I love me some WAP. You know what I'm saying? WAP is acceptable. WAP is enjoyable. I think I speak for all the fellas out there when I say we love some WAP, right? So, we have a situation like this where a song literally entitled Wet Ass Pussy, and is essentially a softcore porn music video, is promoted by YouTube. It's put on trending. It has hundreds of millions of views. That's completely cool, right? No problem. But then when an independent creator who isn't, a massive superstar rapper decides to film something a little more risque, a little bit more kinky or whatever, right? That's when we're going to go ahead and issue some violations. That's when there's going to be a problem. And I don't really fucking vibe with that, to be honest with you, because you consider the fact of this can happen to anyone at this point, right? I mean, this is a situation where it's like, yeah, I don't sit here and watch Belle Delphine or anything. I don't really care. But then you look at the situation and it's like, oh shit, this could happen to me tomorrow too. Maybe I should care. Maybe I should care that something like this is happening, because it's a clear instance of YouTube having double standards. It's a clear instance of YouTube favoring corporatism, favoring artists who are established by corporate backings, favoring people who are basically superstars, while then at the same time punishing people who make their platform for doing the same exact shit, which is really weird when you consider the founding of YouTube, right? The founding principle of YouTube is to broadcast yourself. Now, if I can't broadcast myself doing the same shit as superstar artists, how is that fair? How is that anything that YouTube is supposed to stand for? That doesn't even make any sense. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't like Belle Delphine, and they really don't like a lot of these girls online who do like OnlyFans or things like that, right? There's a lot of people who think that it's bad or that it's wrong or that they're taking the easy way out, which, I mean, sure, you can make the argument that it's easy money, but, you know, I really can't hate on anybody who's out here chasing a bag. I'm sorry, I can't hate on these women for doing this. It's basic supply and demand. Like, you know, they got it, men want it. You know, how can you be mad at them for basically, you know, understanding very simple economics? Like, anyone who's mad about it, if they had like a nice rack or a nice ass, they'd be doing the same thing. But that's really not the point, right? You know, a lot of people are upset about this, right? And there was some people who either kind of brushed it off or just like acted as if it wasn't a big deal. Now, sure, it might not be a big deal to you that this person got hit, right? Like, you might not like Belle Delphine or anything like that. But the issue is the wider community. You know what I'm saying? The wider spectrum of creators. We've seen YouTube act this way before. Just, you know, taking somebody off the platform randomly without an explanation. It's like the fucking Gestapo. You know what I'm saying? They just show up in the middle of the night. Hey, by the way, bang, got your YouTube. They're playing fucking Got Your Nose with babies right now. You know what I'm saying? They're just coming up. Oh, got your channel. You want it back? Oh, okay. And the thing is that's weirdest about this whole situation. I'm quite sure if people didn't say anything about this, she would still be terminated today. Like I said earlier in the video, her channel was reinstated. YouTube basically walked back their the ban or whatever here. They took that back, which is obviously a good thing. And, you know, it's just weird because it seems like that would not have happened had people not said anything about this situation. Now, I'm a person where I want to speak out in support of people, even if, like, you know, it's not in my best interest, right? You know, maybe it's not in my best interest to say that creators across the board, you know, shouldn't be just randomly taken off the platform without a fucking explanation. Maybe one day I'll have beef with somebody and, you know, their channel has that termination or whatever. Like, that would be in my best interest to not say anything, but the type of person I am, I still want to say something about that, right? I still want to make an example out of these situations because I don't agree with the principle of it, right? I don't agree with the principle of kicking people off their platforms because of some random fucking reason without explanation. If YouTube had a really good reason to do this, I wouldn't even really mind, you know? Like, if she was on here sacrificing puppies to Satan, I'd be pretty cool with it, right? Like, yeah, get her off the platform, right? But who is she really harming? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was she doing that was really harming the general public? She shows some ass every once in a while? Dear Lord, how will the kids cope with that, right? It's just fucking stupid. Like, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but I'm just so tired of, like, every time it seems like you get on YouTube, it's some new shit, right? It's something new. YouTube's wrongfully suspending somebody. They're not explaining their motives. They're just doing shit without saying or consulting anyone. They're fucking with something that people like. It's ridiculous, right? It gets old really quickly when that constantly happens. And an even bigger problem that I think people should think about, if it can happen to someone like this or Leafy, it can happen to you, bro. Like, she had, what, 1.8 million subscribers? That's a pretty big channel, you know what I'm saying? Of course, larger channels probably do get favored by YouTube, simply because they make them more money and they bring more eyes to the platform. But at the end of the day, right, like, if a channel with almost 2 million subs is getting sniped wrongfully, what do you think they're doing to people with 150 subscribers or 3,000 subscribers, right? And that's the thing that kind of makes me want to continue to talk about subjects like this because, you know, you see a wrongful termination like this where Belle Delphine really didn't deserve YouTube even going after her in the first place, and it's very hypocritical of them to do so because of the shit that they promote on trending. But, like, people will obviously speak out for Belle Delphine. People will obviously stick up for her because she has a following. There's a lot of people out there who do not get that blessing, that get that luck. And I mean, I remember when I was a YouTuber with 400 subscribers, right? It's not easy to make yourself heard. So when you see situations like this, people have to start speaking up, man. Like, people have to continue to, like, be very vigilant. Because in this instance, yeah, Belle Delphine clearly didn't deserve this. And it's a good thing that she got her channel reinstated. But, like, this is not the end. YouTube's gonna get someone else, and it's gonna be soon. They already got Leafy, they went for Belle Delphine. Who's next? someone's finna fucking disappear. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get somebody at night again, and we're gonna be back to square one here, where we have to tell YouTube the same thing over and over and over again. And it's getting to the point where it feels like your fucking voice is cutting out, man. I don't know. The good news is she at least got her channel back, which she didn't deserve to have banned in the first place, and I guess YouTube kind of walked back their decision a little bit here. But I mean, come on, man. It's like, why did this even have to happen in the first place? And like, who's next? How is it that YouTube constantly fumbles these situations? I don't know, man. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Wondering if he's next. Like, who really knows at this point, man? But signing out.